Pardon the interruption. What? Is that right? Yeah. That's not her name. Glad I figured that out. Off to a great start. Hey fellow fiction fanatics, I'm Chase. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my Bookish Awards for 2021. Yes, this video is coming out far later than I planned, but that's just the way things are, so we're just gonna go with it. So in this video, I'm going to be giving out awards to books that I read in 2021, and I try my best not to duplicate any of my answers. So this is a Bookish Award video that was inspired by Peruse Project and Dash of Ash. So I'll link their channels down below. Alright, let's get into it. Award number 1 is Best Male Character. And this award is going to go to Reizo from The Books of Bayern by Shannon Hale. Specifically in the third book, River Secrets. In the past 2 books, he's been a great friend and comedic side character, but this book is from his perspective and we really get to see him come into his own. He's such a great character and I loved seeing him grow. Loved learning more about him and seeing everything from his perspective because he's such a fun character to be with. That's why I'm picking him for Best Male Character. Award number 2 is Best Female Character. And for that, I'm picking Sweetie from There's Something About Sweetie by Sandia Menon. I loved everything about Sweetie. She's such a great character and I loved getting to know her and seeing her romance between her and Ashish. I absolutely loved her personality and I thought she was just fantastic and I loved getting to know her. Award number 3 is Best Side Character. And this, hands down, has to go to Tucker from the Happily Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. This was such a great read. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, and I absolutely loved it. And Tucker is actually the dog in this story, and he is the absolute best wingman there ever was. And he was so great, and I love that he was such a big part of the story and that he continued to be throughout the book. I hate when a dog is on the cover but they're not part of the story, and I really appreciated that he was. I really loved seeing him in this book, and that's why I chose him as the best side character. Question number 4 is, what is the book that had the best plot twist, or the book that kept you on your toes the most? And for this, I'm going with Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This book is definitely just the tip of the iceberg. Wow, is that a big cliffhanger, and I need to know what happens next. There is so much more that needs to be uncovered and figured out. I'm ecstatic to get into the rest of the series and see how everything turns out because, oh boy, there's a lot going on. Award number 5 is, which book has the best cover? And this award goes to Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. This is the third book in the Nevermore series, or the Morrigan Crow series. I love it with the book sleeve on or without it. Underneath is absolutely stunning. It is by far one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. I can't pull it out right now because most of my books are still in boxes, so I'll just find a picture and I'll put them up here. I think they are absolutely gorgeous and I'm so happy that I have them in my collection. And I cannot wait for book number 4 because I don't know where this is going and I'm so excited to figure out what happens next. Award number 6 is, which book has the most unique world? And I would still say the Nevermore series, but because I said that last year, I'm gonna go with The Miracle on Ebenezer Street by Catherine Doyle. I love that this was such a fun, magical story while still having remnants of the Christmas Carol story. I thought this was really fun and sweet, and a middle grade that's perfect for Christmas time. Award number 7 is Best New to Me Author, so an author that I discovered this year. And for this award, I'm picking Holly Jackson, who is the author of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I was not expecting to like this as much as I did, and I cannot wait to read more of this. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 books, and I'm excited to see how everything goes down. And award number 8 is the Best Short Book. And for this, I'm picking Just Ella by Margaret Peterson Haddix. This is the story of Ella, aka Cinderella. I really enjoyed this story, and this book only comes in at 208 pages, so it definitely counts as a short book. And personally, I think it's worth the read. Award number 9 is, what is the best standalone? And the award has to go to Yesterday is History by Kosoko Jackson. This was an amazing book. I absolutely fell in love with. I loved the characters and the story, and I thought it had such a fantastic premise. A young boy needs a liver transplant, and he's given this liver transplant but it just so happens that his liver comes from a time traveler, and now he's given the ability to time travel because of this. I loved the romance and the characters and pretty much everything about this book. So I definitely recommend picking it up. My pick for the best standalone that I read this year. Award number 10 is Best Emotional Read, and this award is going to Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is such a touching story. I absolutely love Elizabeth Acevedo's work. I read all 3 of her books now, and I can't get enough of her, and I will read anything else that she comes out with because she is such a great author. I just love the way she writes. This had such an emotional impact on me, and this was such a touching story, and I just absolutely love these characters, and I highly, highly recommend reading all her books because they are absolutely amazing. She is one of my 3 auto-buy authors. That is definitely high praise in my book, so give her a shot if you haven't yet. Award number 11 is Best Fangirl-Worthy Read, and this award is going to Ruby Before the Dawn by E.C. Myers. I love that we get to see all the other characters besides the Ruby team. I just think it's so fun to see all these characters and everything that they're doing, and I definitely think this is headcanon because it just lines up so well with everything that's going on, and I really enjoyed my read of this series so far. So if you're a fan of the TV series, I would definitely check out these books. Award number 12 is Most Surprising Read. And for this I'm picking And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I'm saying this, 1, because I was not expecting a lot of things that happened in this book. 2, because I wasn't expecting to enjoy this as much as I did. And 3, because this is a classic mystery and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to ever pick this up, and I'm very glad that I did. I would definitely recommend giving this book a try if you're on the fence about it because I really enjoyed it and I wasn't expecting to. So definitely give it a go. And award number 13, it's not the best award because this award is what was my most disappointing book of the year. And that's going to have to go to The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan. This is about this character who absolutely loves books, striving to start their own bookshop, and there's a romance, and I thought this would be a great story, and it wasn't. I could not get behind the romance, and I did not enjoy it. And I was very, very disappointed. I'm really mad about it because I was really hoping I'd like this. And it was a big thumbs down for me. And award number 14 is what is the most underrated book you've read this year. And I'm picking Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. This is the story about a girl who teams up with a skeleton detective to ultimately save the world. I read the first 2 books in this series. I've really enjoyed my read of this so far. I don't know too many people who've read this, so that's why I'm saying it's an underrated read. So I definitely recommend picking these up. Award number 15 is what was the funniest book that you read this year? And for that, I'm picking The Tower of Nero by Rick Riordan. Rick Riordan can always make me laugh, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading the Trials of Apollo series. I love the humor in these books. I always think Rick Riordan's work is so funny and great. I really love how everything wrapped up in the end for this series. Award number 16 is what was the best contemporary that you read this last year? And this award is going to go to Dear Justice by Nick Stone. I have loved this book. It really blew me out of the water because I thought I wouldn't like it as much as I did the first book, and it blew that out of the water. I was amazed at how raw and real this book felt. It did not feel like a work of fiction, and it was really such a heartfelt story, and I highly, highly recommend this book because it is phenomenal. So please pick this up because it is just that good. Award number 17 is what was the best fantasy? And that actually has to go to my number 1 overall read, but we're gonna get to that a little later on. But trust me, it's worth the wait. And award number 18 is Best Sci-Fi. And for this, I'm picking The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I was able to read all 4 books last year. I thoroughly enjoyed my reread of the series, and these characters have my heart. Their story is amazing, and I just love being back with them and introducing my sister to this world. And so that's why it has my pick as the best sci-fi I read in 2021. Question number 19 is what is the best adaptation I saw this year? And the best adaptation I saw was the Dear Evan Hansen movie. I actually got to see this adaptation on my birthday. I absolutely love the musical. I listen to the songs all the time. I've read the book adaptation and now I've seen the movie. So I've seen all 3 adaptations, and I thought it was really interesting because they each have different endings, and I realized that they focus on individual characters more in each of the 3 genres. If you really want to focus on Evan's story, the musical is the route to go. If you want to focus on Connor's story, I would say the book really focuses on that. We actually get to see his perspective because he is a ghost and we get to see his perspective in the book. And then in the movie, we really see Alana's perspective. And I thought that was really interesting and really cool to see. I've really enjoyed all 3 adaptations, but personally I enjoyed the book the most. Award number 20 is Newest Genre. And this is a new genre or type of book that I got into this year. And in 2021, I got into nonfiction, autobiographies, and memoirs. But my favorite one I read last year was Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah tells the story of his childhood growing up in South Africa. I really enjoyed listening to the audiobook because he narrates it himself, and he really just immerses you into the story of his life. I really enjoyed learning more about that. And last but certainly not least, we have award number 21, which is my best overall read. For me, that is hands down Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This book was phenomenal. I loved it so much. It was everything I could have asked for. It had magic, it had romance, it had adventure. It kept me on my toes the entire time. I was so immersed in this story. There were twists that I was not expecting, and I loved jumping into the story and seeing how everything played out. It definitely surpassed my expectations, and I was just hooked, and I cannot wait to see where the story goes. And the next book comes out this year, so it is definitely one of my top priorities to pick up. I am so excited, and I cannot wait to get to it. I'm just over the moon with this book, and I'm looking forward to see what we have next in store. And I'm really hoping that I continue to like this series. So that is my Bookish Awards for 2021. I'd love to know how you'd answer these questions, so let me know down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share the love. I'll see you next time. Bye!